This is your Mining Disrupt news surge for Monday, November 4th, 2024. Tomorrow is a big day. Ladies and gentlemen, it is maybe one of the biggest, most monumental days in the past couple of years. So if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. That aside, this is where you come for entertainment and education. I'm not here to give you financial advice. I always want to make that very clear. Please do your own due diligence when it comes to investing your money. But there is one thing that I can tell you, and I tell you it every week, and that's to learn about Bitcoin. And one of the absolute best places to learn about Bitcoin is at the ground floor, where it all starts, in mining, at the Mining Disrupt Expo in Fort Lauderdale, happening next year, March 25th through the 27th. And contrary to some rumors you may or may not have heard, this is the only Mining Disrupt conference, the number one, the biggest, the best, hands down, no questions asked. It's been running for 7 years now. There is no other game in town when it comes to the Mining Expo. This is where you go when you want to talk to people, when you want to meet people, when you want to get in and know what is happening from the very inception point, where Bitcoin truly originates from. If you don't have miners, you don't have Bitcoin. Be sure you scan that QR code right down. Where's my finger? It's all kind of, it's right over here, right there. The QR code right there. Scan that, get your tickets, make sure you sign up, because this bull cycle, I've covered it a couple times, but the low conservative estimates that people are talking about, and these are people that actually do have financial degrees, they do know what they're talking about. I'm just quoting them. They're saying price targets of 100, 150, 200,000 if you're conservative, and you can get a piece of that pie if you're mining. That's just simple facts right there. If you want a piece of the Bitcoin pie and you mine for it and you get some, you then have part of the Bitcoin pie. That's how that works.
If you want to learn about mining, you definitely got to come to Mining Disrupt.
Not only do you get to see the hardware, but you get the insights into the industry because of the keynotes. When we had Ted Cruz here,
we stand up and speak out and get engaged, defend the industry.
My advocacy for green mining and green energy, it's not telling anybody they can't mine with some particular source of energy or they can't produce some source of energy. I have tremendous respect for anybody helping to advance humanity by producing energy.
I've mentioned this the past couple of weeks, but Mining Disrupt is hiring. If you think that you've got what it takes to be the next global marketing director for Mining Disrupt, then be sure you head on over to miningdisrupt.com, hit that contact button, send us your LinkedIn and some examples, and we will take a look, and you could land yourself a job at Mining Disrupt. All right, with all of that housekeeping out of the way, let's jump on over to the numbers. We are here on timechaincalendar.com, blazing right through it. We're looking at a price of $68,457. A dip, a bit of a $5,000 dip under that, nearly just tickling over that 73,000 that we saw there for a moment. Fees are low, they're still low, and the blocks, oh my goodness, they are blazing in closer to 9 minutes than they are to 10 minutes. These are really fast, 127 blocks fast, meaning the next difficulty adjustment, something I haven't mentioned in a while because it hasn't been significant, but nearly 4%, that's huge. We have 17,586 nodes online right now. Heading right on into the week, let's start with Monday. Van Eck predicts Bitcoin will be worth $3 million and used as a global reserve asset by 2050. Tuesday, from TFTC 21, Florida's CFO endorses, quote, a strategic Bitcoin reserve, end quote, urging state pensions to add Bitcoin as a hedge against market volatility. Also on Tuesday, I ran a poll asking people if they think we'll see 80K before or after November 6th. It was close, but out of the entire 11 votes, Most people think it's going to be after, and it is looking that way right now. Wednesday, another one from TFTC 21 here. Microsoft shareholders are voting on whether the $3 trillion company should allocate some of its corporate treasury to Bitcoin. British Hodl here saying, MSTR will not only temper the next Bitcoin bear market, but with 40 to 50 million daily purchasing, we've just set a floor price of $89,000 for every 450 Bitcoin mined daily from one buyer. Thursday, Seb Bunny here says, if you're new to Bitcoin, move past the question, who is Satoshi? It's a distraction. The truth is, it doesn't matter. Bitcoin belongs to the community now, decentralized and unstoppable. Focus on what Bitcoin empowers, not who created it. And Friday, I didn't realize I had 3 stories all from TFTC, but here's another one. Argentina's central bank just launched a live Bitcoin mining exhibit, becoming the first central bank to openly mine Bitcoin. And the news from Saturday that completely and utterly, unquestionably, and rightly so, dominated the entirety of X, as far as I could tell, was the truly egregious and heartbreaking story coming out of New York that a tiny little cared for, loved for, beloved pet by the name of Peanut was killed for no clear and good reason. Taken out of his home and killed. Now, what does that have to do with Bitcoin? It just goes to show that government overreach knows no bounds. And this is why having a money that is not controlled by the state is so fundamentally important to freedom. And what is at the basis, as I've said so many times, and certainly multiple times in this very video, the basis of Bitcoin working is mining. And we've got 3 stories that connect directly to Bitcoin mining. The first one right here, British Hodl talking about the floor price that one buyer can set. This is one of the crazy and incredible things that Saylor is doing over at MSTR, MicroStrategy. Doing what he's doing, talking about that $42 billion that they want to dump into Bitcoin. They want to, stack as much as possible. And where does that Bitcoin come from? 450 currently comes from miners. But in 4 years, that 450 gets cut in half. And then 4 years later, cut in half. And that keeps happening. And if you don't know yet why that is such a massive deal, I beg you, seriously, go to Mining Disrupt, go to the expo and talk to the miners and talk to them how that impacts them. Talk to them and learn why that is such, maybe one of the biggest deals about Bitcoin. Aside from the guaranteed scarcity, the guaranteed cap of 21 million, that halving is a big, big deal. The next of those 3 stories that ties to mining is this one right here. It doesn't matter who Satoshi is. It doesn't. And Satoshi thought that nodes and miners were going to be the same thing. Well, that didn't last for long. Now we've got nodes and then we've got miners because the miners have gotten so crazy efficient. And then the last one, I wish this story got more attention, but this is crazy that you have a central bank actively mining Bitcoin. What? What? Until next week, I've been Del. I hope you're swell, and boy oh boy, I have a feeling this week is gonna be one for the history books. I'll see you soon.